Hey, Catalina. It's really freezing here. How are you? Oh, oh, thank you so much for stopping by. Wow. Is there a storm coming? Oh, look, the heat is finally coming down. Oh, it must be really suffocating. The temperatures seemed pretty high, like in my standards of like I remember last summer. I didn't enjoy that at all. Also, it was like never ending, never ending. Hey, Samaran, it does. It looks different. Ah, they adapted the TikTok format. Ah, okay. I mean, I always recorded them like this. Yeah, I always had the vertical camera because I don't have um, another option because I want to show the cards. So yeah, it has to be vertical. Today it was really cold. It was like -4 degrees today. Oh, very cold. Mm. Ah, I understand. Yeah, like the TikToks. Yes. Mm. Very cold. This is why I'm thankful that I got to do the live streams now because um the other day the last Wednesday I did notice this when I finished the live stream. That usually it starts getting like a bit dark in the room. You see it as the hours pass, and I'm like, I did choose a good um a good timestamp, not timestamp, a time zone for me, um because it starts to get really cold here, um and I think that I'm able to finish the live stream, and then I can go um to a warmer place in my house. So, and also when you're sitting down, I don't know why I feel like my feet get cold very easily. um and so I do have a, but yeah, today, yeah, because I do go to these schools very early in the morning. I have to be there 7:30. So I really I was very cold. I was very cold, very cold. So, doing the live stream here, drinking drinking tea for me is like peace. For me is I enjoy doing live stream because I'm like, okay, I did my work, um, and now I have time. And also, and I'm going to have a few weeks off of school because there's going to be like a winter break for well, children are not going to be, the schools are going to be closed. And I believe this year is by the end of July. So yeah. Also, speaking of SHINee, that man, trying to give people while running. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. Yes, I asked Hope if she had seen it, and she was like, "No, did he post something about it?" I believe he did. I mean, I saw people talking about it. I don't know if he posted in his personal. Um, Everyone that were like, excited or maybe involuntarily had to be there. Um, we have summer break starting in 2 weeks. I think that maybe it's around the same time. I don't remember exactly the date, but I believe, yeah, in 2 weeks, the 20th, July the 20th or 23rd, I believe. So I'm going to have more free time. I mean, I still have to do some things online, but it's not that like. Mm, yes, right around Leo season. And I believe on Friday, I'm going to create a video for the channel, um, for this is not going to be for any idol or artist. This is more for the people in the community. It's going to be like a pick a card reading for what's available for July. So yeah, if you want to check it out, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to see how I'm going to do it, the format. um but yeah, I will do my best to keep also adding those, monthly. I will start monthly, then we'll see how it goes. If you guys enjoy it, I maybe can do some more pick a card readings. But yeah, these are going to be dedicated for the community or people that, maybe they are looking for a tarot reading like that. They do very well, those videos. And I was thinking like, maybe I should do more for the community. Um, and just like sometimes, I do, I do see, I do, I'm accurate about certain things for idols. Maybe I can be accurate about you guys. So, so maybe, a pick a card tarot reading can forecast good things for you coming your way. You, if I wouldn't know that you are an Aquarius, I would say that you sound so Leo so much. Every time you say for me, oh me, You sound so Leo-like. And I'm like, she's an Aquarius, right? Oh. I swear, you're polarizing. uh, but it's cool. I like it. I mean, we have to embrace. We want to know about us. I do have a very nice reading that I uploaded on Patreon for birthday people, for people on their birthdays. It's really fun. It's very dynamic. I did create this. It was a client of mine's ideas that they were having, their solar return. So they were like, sort of, gifting a tarot reading for themselves. And we came up with pretty, interesting questions. And so you know, I created the 7 card spread, and it's very nice. I love it. I love it. I think that I've done this for people before in real life, like in person, but I never thought about, putting it on Patreon until she mentioned this. So yeah, I always learn from you guys. I always, I appreciate always the ideas and everything. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your sister sign. Hey, Barbati. Yes, is the internet me. But I think that is healthy. I mean, um, at the end of the day, we always have to go back to ourselves. Like I think that someone that is always like constantly looking at others or thinking about others, you lose somehow. You lose, and I think that sometimes for Aquarius people, they not just Aquarius. I think that for a lot of people, it doesn't matter. It's not about signs, but maybe when you learn that, that, oh, the others needs are more important than me, let's not mention me, let's not talk. There's people that when you ask them personal questions about themselves, for example, what do they like, their vision, their perception about things, sometimes they don't know what to say because they are not used to being asked about themselves. And that's very sad, when this especially goes for, when they come from a very large family and they have a lot of siblings, or, they just don't get the attention, and they grow up to, to have this. And it's a very interesting moment because you ask them, like, if they have children, they talk about their children. If they have a husband, they talk about their husbands, but they never talk about themselves. And it's nice to listen to people like this because you can see their eyes light up when you ask them, like, but what do you think? What do you want to do? I think that sometimes we take for granted that, not everyone has the possibility to reflect about themselves, and, you know, me and Akira for life. Yes, I think it is. Yes, it might be also because no one ever asked them all themselves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, in big families. Yeah. Also with only child with only children also as well, because um maybe you don't have that large of a family, but maybe your parents have like this big personality, or they have some kind of disability, or they need the attention, or the house and the dynamics roll around the you know around the adults, and the kid has to be quiet and just go with the flow, about what the adults do or say, so they become a bit invisible. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, guys, today is going to be romance in 2025, the months that are left of 2025 for GOT7 and SHINee members. So yeah, I'm going to start with GOT7 members because they are a lot, and then I have SHINee that I'm going to do next. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start with Jinyoung. Jinyoung, his love life for 2025 for Jinyoung. Hmm. This is very interesting because this is the same card of the Oracle that BTS Taeyeon he got also. So for Jinjan it seems like it's also very like it's very similar. But yeah, let's see for him. We have the World, we have the Devil, we have the Star card in the middle, we have the Three of Wands, and we have the Ace of Wands. And then from the Oracle of the I Ching of Love, we have the card of the initial difficulty. The initial difficulty. So yeah, this also reminds me a bit that maybe him and Taeyeon, maybe they have very similar emotional reactions. I don't see someone in specific for Jinyoung. But I think that we have the world and we have the devil. So there was an attachment, to someone, to maybe an ex or someone from his past, that he is still, this year he still is trying to get over this person. It's not easy because probably he is possessive, or he's someone that even if he's apart from the person, he tends to think about that person, or just get a bit obsessive, but not contacting the person and being like, I want you back. No, it's more like this is a phase for him. This is a way of him getting attached to maybe memories, or pictures. If he can, look online, what they're up to. I think that he is a guy that definitely it takes a while. Maybe it's been, a while since he um, um, had broken up, I would say. So, but with the World Cup, it's like finally this year, maybe he's going to be able to close the cycle. But definitely he is a person that I think that also coming back to the oracle, the initial difficulty, he can actually end relationships because of the stupidest reasons and being very reactive like this, or he gets frustrated very easily. He is a bit stubborn. Maybe he wants to have the control of the relationship, or maybe he's someone that has the tendency to be possessive or to be a bit toxic, with the devil. Oh, but he likes it like that. I think that his love language to be a bit suffocating, I would say. And probably, he gets stuck in time. Maybe this is not a recent breakup. This maybe happened a long time ago, and he's still working on being able to move on. Um, I think that there's something about, thinking about the person, or just not being able to let go, even if I do see that he's someone that he's moving, that he probably has a lot of. I see him very active, doing a lot, traveling. In the middle we have the star card, so there's something about him being a star and him shining this year, being treated like a star, being very lucky in different aspects of his life. But he has this tendency. He's not. He is. He's. How can I say this? He's a very intense person. He doesn't forget nor forgives. And it's so interesting because I'm like, probably they had a split up because of the stupidest thing. I don't know why. When I see it's giving me childish behavior, childish. Like, oh, you did this to me, I will not forgive you. Um, because it says the initial difficulty. So probably they were just starting, or they just started dating, and then maybe the person did or say something that he found, very offensive, or he found like, okay, I cannot trust you if you behave like this. I cannot be with someone like you, and breaking up, very exaggerated like this. I think that he needs to learn about love and relationships. I think that his view is a bit childish. He is a bit dominating, that things have to go his way, and he's not very flexible, and probably it's no fun to be in a relationship with him because he tends to get very he doesn't let go. It's not healthy. He remembers the small details, what you said, what you didn't say. And I think that it's obsessive. And so it is the kind of person that you prefer, for now, you prefer to have him a bit, away. um, but yeah, I think that his life, honestly, I don't see someone in particular in his life in 2025. I think that he still has to work with this former relationship that he had, or connection. Because in the middle, actually, with the star, I think that he has to go through a lot of, you know maybe focusing on himself. Also, this is going to be a very special year for him. There's something with the star that also, him being maybe a star, or him being a celebrity, it is demanding of his attention. Is demanding that, okay, like, don't lose your focus, because you need to be okay emotionally, mentally. You need to be okay in order to advance when it comes to, his role as an actor or as a singer. He definitely loves to torture himself with memories of the past. But I think that also with the star card, there's something about like, okay, maybe it's part of his journey to somehow suffer a bit, or get frustrated a bit with love and relationships, and then he can, with that experience, he can actually get really good inspiration to maybe put this into words, or to be more artistic, or to get better roles, to show intensity, to show this deepness, to show how intense and passionate he can be. And I definitely think that, yeah, I don't think that Jinyoung at this point in his life is like, oh, I met the love of my life and I let her go. No, I think that he was just, seeing someone, and it's like it wasn't meant to be. It's not that big of a deal. But probably, for someone like him, that probably he gets a bit obsessed. I would be like, you better focus on work, and just like that's it, because um good things are coming for him individually. um I could see with the Three of Wands and the Ace of Wands, him probably going out more, after, celebrating a victory or something of his. I see him traveling, going out more, hanging out more with male friends, with other guys. Like, it feels very masculine. It feels very like it's all about me and the guys, or me and another group of guys and men, and we do just what men do, we hang out and everything. It's so fun, and it's not that deep. I see him being very adventurous when it comes to his love life. At the end we have the Ace of Wands, so he could experience by the end of this year a very strong attraction, um, towards someone. Someone could appear, a new obsession, I would say, a new potential obsession, a new potential for him to get obsessed. Um, but it's not going to be romantic. I think that it's going to be more like, oh, I'm attracted to this person, I find this person attractive, they are so sexy, or they have this energy. That he definitely loves people with strong personalities. He like with people that are really magnetic, or maybe someone that is a bit loud or bossy. I see a lot of Wands, so there's a lot of fire energy. He's very passionate himself as well. But really, he's not looking for anything serious. He just wants to have fun. He's going to end the year very, very well. He's going to end the year very well. But somehow the start in the middle is like, this is supposed to happen like this. Maybe a guy like Jin Young, he needs to be single for a bit. He cannot be emotionally involved or traumatized. He he doesn't have nor the need nor the maturity to be in a connection yet. He doesn't have it. Probably he doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the desire. This is why, with the card of the initial difficulty, like I said, maybe the connection was just starting, and he decided to end this because, oh no, we have differences. And maybe, if you put a bit of work and a bit of willpower, you would have been able to, work through all these things. But probably he didn't want to work. He didn't want to put the effort like this, either because he didn't have the time or he wasn't interested enough. But I still think that I don't see a significant person in here for him. I think that he just wants to have fun. Mm, like with the Three of Wands and the Ace of Wands, that is giving me a lot of male energy, a lot of guys together. It could be the group. It could be GOT7. GOT7 having a comeback, creating content, going on vacation together, something like that. Something very fun, very like uplifting, very, very them, very entertaining, chaotic, I wanted to say aggressive, but I don't know why. Maybe I feel like this is something that I get. I don't read for Jinyoung, I believe, that often. I don't remember if I did in the past. I don't recall. Um, but there's something about Jinyoung with these cards that I'm like, does he have anger issues? Does he have like a short temper? He's not aggressive, but I see that he has low tolerance. Like he gets annoyed for the smallest and stupidest things. That you're like, oh my God, like, like, wow, is that part of your appeal? Is that your charm that you get, you know, he's like a ticking bomb. I don't know if that's good, but I think that he's a guy that you have to be like, very, just in case, move over, just in case he he, he explodes, you'd be like, okay. I swear that I can see through the cards. I'm like, is this man okay? Why he seems so angry? Like, it's not, it's why you're not even in love. What are you so angry about? Uh, he out here doing Netflix dramas. Mm. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jackson 1. Jackson 1. Jackson, romance for 2025. Come on, Jackson. Why are you so slow? Ah, this man. I hope he's watching my readings. Can you imagine Jackson being watching my readings? Okay, for Jackson, we start with the Page of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Seven of Pentacles. The Hangman. Queen of Pentacles. I see someone. And we have the card of the Oracle of the I Ching. It says contemplation. Contemplation. So yeah, it's all about contemplation. Like, this is why I'm like, what is going on? He usually is not like this. I mean, he could be maturing, but he's going to be contemplating starting something with someone. Also, I see a lot of pentacles, so I definitely see that he wants to be more mature, or he wants to not pretend. I don't want to say pretend, but I mean, he wants to be perceived as a patient lover, and I think that this is something that he's really trying this year to be prudent, to slowing down a bit, to not suffocate the other part with a lot of attention, a lot of communication. And it's like, okay, I'm going to advance with this person. I have my eyes on someone that probably someone older than him or more experienced than him. And also this is a famous person or someone that has a very successful business. So this lady is the kind of lady that she doesn't need him. So I think that this is why he's probably trying to, like, okay, how do I conquer? How do I attract, a woman like this? What do I offer to a person that has everything? Um, and also I think that really he's trying to mirror her energy. Her energy seems very mature, very patient, very slow moving, very professional, um, very elegant. There's something about him wanting to become her. Like, okay, I want to learn from her. Like, this is why we have the Page of Pentacles. There's something about him being like, I have to learn how to slow down because I have to match her energy. But the Six of Swords, see, he is going somewhere. He's trying to win this person's attention. The Seven of Pentacles is also about, like, okay, maybe this has just started or is about to start. So for me, I don't see it romantic, honestly, but what I do rescue of all of this is that is teaching someone like Jackson the power of putting the effort when you like someone, or practicing patience, consistency, be prudent, being wiser, being observant. Um, I think that is very, and I have Nevita here with me. And she's always showing her butt to the camera. I didn't train her to be like this. I don't know why she's like this, but she does. Um, she's stepping all over Jackson's cards. Um, and I think that he's serious about this person. He's serious about this person. It's just that definitely this person is turning his world upside down. It's like when you don't know, you're like, okay, am I doing a good job? Is this really working? Am I doing a good job? Um, because probably she's very silent, or is very slow, or it's like she's different. So there's something about, like, when with this kind of person, you don't know if you're doing things right or not. You just don't you don't know. Um so but he's definitely, like, his whole attention is to this person. It's like there's no one else. Is this woman? Is this woman? Is this woman? It's just that maybe there's moments with the handman that also he has to learn to not do anything. Just wait. Just be yourself. Just wait. Just contemplate. Don't overthink. I mean, I don't see him overthinking. I don't see him being desperate. This is why I'm like, this is very new. Um, to show him. This is like very new for someone like him. Him being this someone that his life also, his career and his projects, they all demand energy of him, energy, action, reaction. So to see him when it comes to romance being so focused, so realistic. Also, there's something about him being realistic about this person or this bond. um It's just that maybe he's trying to figure her out. You know, there's something about him being like observing the person and being like, I want to get to know her. Like, I really want to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I want to do things right, but I also don't know if I should ask her because I don't want to bother her. She seems very zen, very centered, like, you know, maybe she doesn't talk that much. So there's something about him, you know, just being very, she's very precious. He respects her a lot, so he doesn't want to be intrusive. Um, but this is something, you know, unexpected. This is Negrita, is Nakali. This is my oldest cat. I know they look the same, yeah, pretty much they are black. This is killing his Aries Venus. Yes, it's somehow it's like putting him in a very uncomfortable pose. Like, what do I do? He's not obsessed. He's not like, oh, I gotta have her. You know, no. But he definitely is like she's the person. She is the person. I want her. She is the person. Very nice for Jackson. Uh-huh. Yes. Kali has orange eyes. She's terminado. Kali is meowing outside. She's like, let me in. Let me in. Oh no. Yeah, my legs hurt a bit. This is because the heater is in there. This is why she's here. This girl has definitely a Taurus moon because she doesn't move unless it's for her benefit. Okay. I'm going to continue with Bambam. Let's see for Bambam. Yes, this is the secret of having a cat very, very, you know, focused. And she's like trying to keep balance on one of my legs. She's like shaking a bit. Oh, okay. Well, for Bambam, wow. Okay, very drastic. But we have the Hierophant, we have the King of Wands, we have the Page of Pentacles. In the middle, we have the World, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles. And then I have from the Oracle of the I Ching, I have the card of fatal event. So yeah, very fatal event. And also look at the picture. See, there's a heart in the middle. The hands are about to touch, but there's like a break in the middle. There's like a crack. So possibly a separation. But I don't see someone. I mean, yeah, the page in the middle could be a younger person, younger than him. A trainee, could it be? Don't get scandalized, but is a young person, younger than him. Because yeah, we have the Hierophant and the King of Wands. I starting the reading. I think that for Bambam 2025, it's a year that honestly he is, he is this King of Wands. He is. Does he have his own company, Bambam? Because I think that he's maybe a member or one of the members that he had actually built so much, maybe on his own, maybe his own career, his individuality, his individual works. He seems to be the one. He seems to be like a boss, maybe if, yeah, he's very young, but there's something about him being a boss, or him being in charge of a lot of things about maybe his individual activities or what he does. So instead of thinking about relationships, I think that he would want to be in a relationship because um the commitment, the Hierophant also is a card that talks about, you having he's a very faithful man. Maybe his view is very traditional, maybe he believes in marriage, he wants to get married at some point, and he's thinking about, like, I'm thinking about, I want to get serious with someone. His goal is to build a very stable relationship. He is very sincere about this, and also he's a very traditional person. I don't know, maybe, his background or how he was raised. There's something about him being like, yeah, I don't want to casual date people. I actually am interested in a very, in getting married, having my family. He's always looking to, you know, I think that his dream would be to be the head of the family. This is why, if he has businesses of his own, or if he's someone that he has his own, he's the one that manages everything. I think that this is because he loves to exercise, not exercise being powerful or being in power. I think that he wants to exercise the the ability to, to create something and sustain it. Either if it's like a brand, if it's like a business, even if it's a small business, he's like, no, because this has my name, so I have to make sure that this is stable, that this is done right. He's like, his mind is very much like a boss. He's very strategic. He's very active, he's very involved. Probably, he's a bit of a workaholic, or he's a perfectionist, where he probably has people working for him, but he is the type of person that he would always be in the middle, trying to arrange things, by himself, and be like, no, 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 let me do this. I will do this. I can do this because I'm young, and I don't care if I didn't get much sleep. I don't care, because this is my business and this is important, and I want to make it last, and I want this to be serious. So he gets very much involved. He's very passionate about businesses. This is where I'm like, wow. And also he's very, I don't want to say he's authoritarian. I just think that he is very he's very confident in his ability to run certain businesses. So, I know Bambam is one of the youngest of GOT7, but in here, I think that he's sort of building his own empire in 2025 because he's thinking about leaving this to, his future partner or his future family. He's thinking long term as well. So yeah, I could see someone. I think that maybe, this person that I do see, that I say that it could be like a young, artist, or someone that is maybe an influencer, even someone that is more inexperienced than him. But I think that this person is not, because if you see, she is in the middle. He's not looking at her. He's actually looking at his values, he's looking at what he is creating, he's being serious. Like, I think that romance, or the idea of romance for Bambam, is serious, and he's very passionate about this, about respect, about being faithful, about taking a commitment, because it is a commitment for him. So, and I see this very, this person that is like, oh wow, it's him, I like him, I admire him, wow, he's amazing, I would want to get to know him better, but he's not paying attention to her. And he's not paying attention because it goes against, his values. If it was someone else, they would take advantage of, this person being naive. I don't think that this person is naive, because it's a page of pentacles. So the page of pentacles, it could potentially be someone, trying to work their way up, very strategic with resources, money, and just wanting to get, a better position, a better job. It's like, oh yeah, I want to get to know you, but actually, like, I'm studying everything about you because I want this to go perfect. And she's also chasing stability. So, but he's not paying attention. He's not. It's just that she's like, she has him on a pedestal. She's like, oh, he's the one. I should get him. But honestly, I think that no, his eyes are on something else. Um, and then we have the World card, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So see, it's all about cycles. Maybe this person has to, I don't know why I think that they are from the same industry. So there's something about this, maybe this girl, wanting him to train her, or like, oh, teach me what you know. I want to learn from you. Please be my mentor. Very cute. Um, but I think that this is going, there's something about Bambam energy. Honestly, he's going to be working a lot. I do see like a sort of tour. The Nine of Pentacles is also like a lot of individual work, a lot of presentations, a lot of events to attend to, a lot of money to be made with his image. So I honestly don't see him that interested, or that like, oh yeah, I'm going to make time for this person, or like, oh yeah, like, no, 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 no. This person is going to disappear very soon. Um, but see, with the card of a fatal event, see. Let's see how this person handles rejection, because maybe they will not like it. But I think that when we say a fatal event, maybe it could be about maybe someone like Bambam, because he is indeed like a very, even though he is very prosperous and professional, I think that when it comes to romance, there's a bit of fatality, there's a bit of exaggeration of like, okay, the person that I like doesn't like me. Whenever I put my eyes on someone, that person is not it. Or, when I meet someone that I find like, oh, they really like me, it turns out that that person is a scammer, or is a liar, or they want to trick me, or, they are not, they are deceitful. So with fatal event, there's something a bit tragic, a bit exaggerated, that even though maybe he tries to meet people, it always ends. It's always leaves like this very, bittersweet kind of like, I thought that this person was nicer, or I thought that we had something, but I guess I was wrong. I guess I was wrong. So maybe there's a bit of, of like, wow, I never get it right. I never get it right. And also, I think that in this, with jokes to aside, because I know that he had mentioned, that when he was young, he had these crushes on, I believe it was twice, Nayeon. And I think that it's not just about Nayeon. Probably there's other people that at some point he showed admiration, or he showed, excitement to meet them, and they are just the opposite sex, so people would go crazy. And there's something about this sort of gossip or rumors, that somehow it leaves a very, like, it tainted it, like it ruins his reputation. It's like, ah, poor you. You're so naive that you had a crush on this girl, someone like her. She would never look at you that way. Like, there's a bit of condescending energy, when it comes to Bambam potentially attracting someone and this being mutual. So if we take the jokes to a side, behind every joke and behind, any um, uh, you know um, opinion, even if it's humorous and people laugh, it also leaves a mark on someone that, especially like him, that he's someone that he has a lot of responsibilities for a man of his age. He had been working for a very young age, so it's normal that he's still trying to figure out, okay, I want a relationship. What do I do? How do I do this? How do I know if this person is worth my time, if this person is good to me, if I'm always working? I cannot stop working. It seems like in his case, definitely he's showing me that if he doesn't move, things don't get done. Being Bambam is like, you see him like this, very focused. He's a very brave person. He takes the control of his matters. He's a very responsible young man. But at the same time, there's something about him being like, if I don't move, I will not get the promotions that I need. I will not get what I need to keep working. I will not get the possibilities. I will not get the options. I will lose everything that I had built already. So there's something about him also having to, you know, be responsible for a lot of people. Maybe he has a lot of people under his wing. And so uh, this is like, maybe he's like, I'm always talking about work or projects, so it's normal that is a very few occasions where you will see Bambam just having fun, and that's it. That's only for the photo shoots or the videos. Usually Bambam is a very serious and practical person. um, but yeah, I think that his potential connections this year, they end before they become or turn into something more serious. They just dissipate, and it's like it's not meant to be. Mm. Nayeon and Taeyeon. Hey Hope. Okay, I'm going to continue with Mark Twan. Hmm. He is in a relationship, but also a lot of drama. A lot of drama. We start for Mark, we have the Five of Wands, the Strength card. We have the Two of Cups in the middle, Five of Cups, and we have the King of Swords. And then from the Oracle, we have the card of Sex. So definitely he's a very passionate sexual person. So yeah, I mean, like probably his connections start, with both parties feeling very attracted to each other, or having, sex is important in his romantic life, I would say. But there's a lot of arguing also, a lot of drama, a lot of drama. I think that is a proper connection. I think that is a proper connection. I don't see the person, but I do see that there's a strong bond. This is not of now. It's been a while, but they have their ups and downs. They have their ups and downs. Uh, they do argue a lot. Probably the other party is a bit demanding, and there's something about him just not saying much, just holding on, just like maybe the other person like wants to start an argument with him, or they start to get aggressive, and he just doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. He just, um he's a very patient person, but I think that because of this, maybe he attracts people that they get very on their nerves. He gets because he's not that reactive. Maybe he attracts very very like outspoken people, and they confront him about it. They confront him about, like, why don't you speak up, why don't you say what's on your mind, like, come on, tell me, like, talk to me, tell me that we are over, or tell me that this is not working, but tell me how you feel. I think that he is in love, I would say. I mean, there's a connection, there's a like a reciprocity, but at the same time, I'm like, this connection went through a lot of things, a lot of breakups, then reconciliation, breakups, reconciliation. I think that now they are a bit stabilized, they are stable, but in the future there's going to be, discussions again, probably a separation. Him at this point, I think that he will also be not, will be not that reactive as well. I think that the King of Swords is the person that, I don't know, he somehow, there's something about him taking his power back at the end, him like waiting for the other party to end this, for the other party to make the final decision and walk away, and him being like, having the last words, or him being like, okay, fine, this is what you wanted, okay, we are over. I'm letting you know we are over. We are not coming back. this is it. Because he can be very cold when he wants to. There's something just very, it's like a mix of patience and a bit of like, I know better than you. So I mean, they do understand each other. So there's this dynamic that they do get each other. But and also with the kind of sex, maybe they are very attracted to each other. So, every time something goes wrong, they have makeup sex and that's it. They resume the connection because of the attraction or because they cannot live without each other. Um, but I think that he is a guy that if he would break up with this person, he would probably be sad about it a couple of hours and then he would act like he never like like he never knew you, like you're a stranger to him. He's not that emotional. I think that he cares for this person because we have the Two of Cups. So but there's also this stability, probably in this dynamic. Maybe they started at a very young age, so this is like his first real experience. And there's something about them being equals in this connection, in the sense that, yeah, probably time is passing and they are growing apart because, they want different things. It's just that they have been together for a very long time and it's really tough. It's really hard to put an end to something that you're like, yeah, we have our issues, but we are not that bad together. We love each other, or we have fun together. And they went through so much. They went through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of, fighting, a lot of disagreements, and then reconciliation, and then one waiting for the other. The other one, I think that they are compatible somehow, but I don't want. I think that he's a bit fed up of this bond, so he maybe is waiting for the other part to end this, so he doesn't feel that guilty. Um, but um, I definitely, if he does break up, I definitely do see him writing very very sad songs about this. Just taking the material, the inspiration in taking the material and inspiration in of like, oh, I'm so depressed, you don't love me anymore. um but they have great sex. I mean, for him it's important sex, so probably he's a good lover as well. So they are just a magnet to each other. But yeah, in the middle he had the Two of Cups, so there's a connection, there's a relationship in there. So it's not like the other part is imagining things. No, no, there's a connection. Okay, I'm going to continue with Yugyeom. Yugyeom, let's see the magnet. Hmm. He's very successful with the ladies. He's very successful with the ladies. The ladies love Yugyeom. They love him. They love him. He's a winner. Is he athletic or something like this? Because he's giving me champion. He's giving like he wins every time. Um, but also he could have a wandering eye. He could be a bit, you know, it's like an escapist, and also we have the car of wind, the car of wind. So he's like this tree, he he moves, it depends on where the wind hits him, he changes his mind. But he's very popular. I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. Justice, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Six of Wands in the middle, Seven of Swords, and the Page of Cups. And then from the Oracle, we have the card of Wind. He's very successful at relationships, I would say. Very successful at relationships. It's just that he's a very, with these two major arcanas, he's a very fair person. He's a very fair man. He doesn't keep promises that, he doesn't make promises that he's like, I will not be able to commit, or I will not be able to fulfill this for you. So yeah, I don't want to waste your time. So don't wait for me. I think that he's very, very honest. Um, his energy feels very, this is why I was mentioning the wandering eye, because I'm like, he feels like he's moving, he goes through experiences, or I see a person at the end, but I think that probably he's flirtatious. Could it be that I know he's not a Libra, but if he's giving me Libra air sign, like, oh yeah, we are friendly with each other, but actually there's sexual tension, or there's something going on. But he's really good at, you know uh, turning the page. When, okay, this was fun, but it's not fun anymore, so yeah, I will move on to the next. um I don't think that he's in love, or no. I think that he's enjoying, being a man of his age, and with all the attention that he gets. He probably has a lot of female friends. I don't know why I feel like he's surrounded by females, like, and he's friendly with all of them. So if you want to, I don't know, maybe someone that is a fan of him, and you see him with a female companion, and you're like, oh, that must be the girlfriend, or he must be dating this person because he smiled at this person. But actually, I think that he changes. He changes locations. He changes, his group of friends is not always the same. He moves around a lot. He travels a lot. He knows a lot of people. So I think that he is just, and there's something about him being a catch, and maybe a lot of girls want to have him. A lot of girls celebrate him, and they are like, please pay attention, please look at my way, please love me, please. And this is not the fans. I think that he's wanted. He's like eye candy for beautiful women, or I think that he doesn't know what rejectment is. I think that he doesn't know about rejection. I don't think that this guy ever had like a dissolution in love, a deception, a heartbreak. I don't see him like this. I think that where he puts his eye on, when he's like, oh, this person is cute, he probably is reciprocated. He is that good. He is that good. Um, I don't know how he does it, but he's so smooth. If he has like seduction tips, they are so smooth. They are so smooth. They don't see him coming. They don't, I don't know how he does it, but they end up all falling in love with him. But yeah, then maybe, by the end of this year, we have the Seven of Swords and we have the Page of Cups. So for me, it's like, he probably is going to have also a very good year, maybe going out with friends, celebrating, or going somewhere, or being celebrated himself, you know. But there's something about with the Seven of Swords, it's like, he's going somewhere, and that is like somehow far away from the spotlight or the admiration and and me, I'm a champion and I always win, and somehow I think that, getting maybe, staying a bit away of being so popular. There's something about, love finding him, you know. He's going to find love in a very unexpected place, maybe, or situation, and it's going to be a surprise for him. I don't think I don't think that he's ready for what is coming his way. Definitely there's love coming his way. Love at first sight, possibly. Possibly his first love, I would say. It feels very innocent. It's like the beginning of you feeling something for someone. But it's so interesting how he's somehow, getting away from this, running away, and then boom, you meet this person. So he can meet, a potential lover or someone, in a very unexpected place or situation. And also, I think that he's like, but why now? Why do I have to start feeling romantic now? Why did it happen before? Why now? But his things are changing. Also, we have the Wheel of Fortune. The events are changing, and yeah, he's very lucky. He's a very celebrated man, very masculine. Very beautiful, enchanting. He's amazing. But yeah, he has this tendency. With the keyword of wind, he has this tendency of him getting distracted or just not paying that much attention to love, romance, and relationships. For him, it's not that serious, or maybe he's not in love, or he's not interested in thinking about a long-term relationship. He just wants to have fun. But somehow, his life is about to change, and in there could someone appear. So someone that is going to change his whole mind, his whole view about relationships. um, Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to continue with Youngjae. Youngjae. See for him, romance. Another one that has the Seven of Swords. Like, what is going on? What is going on? They are all running away from something. Like, I think that this year love is not a priority, but the Seven of Swords, it's it's so interesting. He has the Seven of Swords in the middle, but he's a dreamer. He's a dreamer. He's a very special guy. I definitely can see this. Okay, for Youngjae, we have Six of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess. We have the Seven of Swords in the middle. We have the Three of Pentacles. No, three. Sorry, the Empress. What Three of Pentacles? Empress. Five of Swords. Ah. And we have from the Oracle of the I Ching of Love, Mystical Union. So see, he's a romantic. He is a dreamer. He believes probably in faith, in soulmates. He keeps it very hidden. I don't know, maybe if you guys are fan of Youngjae, maybe there's something about him maybe mentioning this, but he really aims higher when it comes to relationship, or he has like a very vivid imagination, and he's like, I have a vision of, who this person is, or how this person should be, or what they should bring into my life. um it's just that he's a very intuitive person, but I think that because he's so intuitive, he probably is like, I shouldn't be this delulu. Like, I should, not get too much in my feelings, or start, maybe he feels sensitive around certain people that he likes. I think that he has secret crushes on people, definitely. He probably in his whole experience in the industry, or meeting beautiful people, or just meeting very nice people, I think that he had crushes on people very often. It's just that he's like, I will not say anything. Because I don't know if he's like, I seen what happens to other people when they say, or when they confess, okay, yeah, my 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 crush is this person. I think that the microphone. um and there's something about like, no, I just, if it's not meant to be, or if he doesn't feel reciprocated, like if he doesn't feel like, it's mutual, he will take it to his grave. He will not say anything. And there's also something about him, probably, also being like, I know there's people that have flirted with me, or there's people that have actually been, a bit obvious towards me, and I'm like, I know that they probably felt something for me too, but it all is left in nothing. It's all perceptions, or like, we could have been, really good together, we could have been, happy together, but I don't know, maybe, they didn't say anything, he didn't say anything, so things never work out. So probably he has like um a lot of deja vu of moments where he's like, I should have been braver, and then maybe I should have said something, but I think that this person also didn't want to be bothered. I think that he's very respectful to women. He's very respectful to women, definitely. He finds women complex, definitely. But I think that he finds it complex because he also is very feminine himself. There's something with the High Priestess. Also, we have the Empress. So he's very much in touch with his intuition and his feminine side himself. So probably he empathizes so much with women in his life, or the women that he likes, that he doesn't take the charge. He doesn't make things happen because he stays in his feelings. He stays in his feelings, he stays in his imagination, he stays in the inaction, of like, oh, I think I have the perception, my intuition tells me that you and I, we are connected, we get each other, we could be so happy together. But at the same time, it's left with nothing because you guys don't do the effort. It's like you're left in there, just being like, oh yeah, we are good friends. But you could have been more if you dared to take the first step, if you dared to be a bit much more aggressive. you know um Also, I'm like, um he has mommy issues, I must say, like, because we have the Seven of Swords and we have the Empress. So I'm like, um I'm like, who wait, guys. um I'm like, who is he running away from? And also he has conflicts with women in his life, um very powerful women. So I wonder if it's his mom. I don't know if he has like an older sister, and if it's like the grandmother. There's something about these very powerful women somehow taking over the reading and sort of taking over and ruling his life, and him trying to run away from them because they are very controlling, they are very overprotective, they are very overprotective. So he kind of fears women. um, he loves women, but at the same time, he because of what he had seen, or what he had experienced, maybe in his family, that women run everything in his, maybe his family. But there's also a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of, you know like, oh, you have to do, you have to follow the tradition, we are going to choose someone for you. I don't know why I feel like I don't know, his family is very much interested in setting him up with someone and being like, oh, we think that this person is good for you, you should meet with this person. And he being like, no, like, I want to meet someone that I actually like, I don't, um you know so there's a lot of conflict with the female energy. So this is why maybe, some things are left unsaid, at least this year, when it comes to relationships. But there's something, I think that maybe also he finds himself in connections where he ends up being the good guy, or the guy that you always are like, you are a great person, you are my best friend, and he's friends on like this. But the good thing is that he does believe in a mystical union. He does believe in mystical union. He does believe in, that you have, someone for you, that someone special is waiting for you. So I think that he is a dreamer, and um he's someone that he wants to experience this very spiritual kind of love. um it's just that maybe there's an excess here of powerful women somehow um taking the scene, or taking up space, and being a bit overbearing with him. So it is a bit like, mm, mm, mm. Okay. I'm going to continue with JayB. Now she's playing with it. She's playing with my pen. No, not this one. No. Here, play with this. I have to work. Okay, sorry guys for for JayB. For JayB, we start Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords, Judgment, the Hierophant, the World card, and we have happiness is to love. Beautiful card, beautiful. Happiness is to love. Definitely there's someone. There's someone. You know that I read for him and this person that, people were saying like, oh, he's dating this person. I think that she was a YouTuber. I don't know if it's the same person, it's the same girl, but she is very stable in here. This is not someone that he just met. This is someone that is very well established in his life. This could be, a long-term girlfriend. Very motherly, very, very sweet, very emotional. But also, she is being very, very clear with him, very straightforward, you know, um, very honest. Like maybe she wants something out of him. I believe it's more commitment. I believe is maybe an officialization of something. But she's been, maybe she had been, very patient with him, or she had waited for him, or she had, been consistent and understanding to him. And now she's setting boundaries. She's setting boundaries. I don't think that she's going to go to the press and spill the tea about their relationship, but probably she's like, giving him an ultimatum, and seeing that, actually this is a Queen of Cups. Maybe she's asking of him for him to be maybe a bit much more expressive and loving and romantic. Maybe, it's like, can you be more expressive? Can you be sweeter? Can you be more romantic towards me? I she is very emotional. She needs this. So, and in the middle we have the Judgment. So for him, I think that he's a bit inflexible. Well, he's a Capricorn. What can I say? He's a Capricorn man. But with the Judgment, there's something about him being like, oh no, you will not tell me how to do this, how to love you. Like, I think that I've been doing my best. Him probably feeling a bit like, are you setting boundaries? Like, are you, are you putting like some kind of ultimatum? Are you threatening me? Like, him actually seeing it like, you are judging me as a person. I've been very nice to you, or I done what I could for you in a relationship, but don't push it, you know. Um, I think that he's a person that probably, when you ask him to be more emotional, there's something about him taking it like an offense. You're like that you're accusing him of having no feelings. And maybe he does have feelings, maybe he does have them. It's just that he seems very cold. He's someone that yeah, he's tough to get, and probably she wants a demonstration, she wants something out of him. She doesn't want money. I don't see that this person is like a gold digger. I don't see this person being like, oh, I'm after his money and his fame. No. Maybe she's looking for more. She wants to talk more. She wants him to be much more present in her life. Maybe, like I said, maybe they had been together for a very long time. So there's something about trust, transparency. Why do I feel like also he also doesn't talk that much? um Very silent people, like they don't express themselves, they don't express their feelings. So I kind of see why the women in the relationship, they have to sort of push it to see if they truly care. Because if it's up to them, they would just, have the same dynamic through the years. It's like, well, yeah, this is us. And it's boring, honestly. It's boring, and it's a bit like dry. It's like, I don't know, because I'm uh, I'm a Latin American person. I'm very emotional and I'm very expressive. So I don't know what it would be like to be with someone, that probably they don't talk, or they are just there with you. Yes, of course, but there's a barrier, there's like a distance. You are together, but it feels like you are a stranger. So yeah. um we have the Hierophant and we have the World. Engagement, could it be? Please, the fans of JayB, don't kill me. But I think that this is going to work actually, because it seems like the bond has to reinvent itself. It has to get more serious. It has to advance somehow. And I see a commitment. I see a structure. I see rules. I think that it has the potential of becoming serious. Yeah, I see stability, because it's either that or breaking up. But I also don't think that there's drama. It's just that probably this person, the girlfriend, she's speaking up for the first time. She's like, I need to tell you something. I'm not that happy. I think that we should change something about this. And here, happiness is to love. Happiness is to love. Maybe there's something about JB. Sometimes maybe he doesn't seem that happy being with her, or just being. He doesn't seem like a happy, joyful person. So maybe because he's not that expressive, maybe she's like, okay, are you happy with me? Do I make you happy? What do you feel? But it's a nice message. Happiness is to love. And I think that this also is a message for someone like JB. What he's building, or what he has been building with this person, this love story, is is a part of happiness. It's a tiny piece of happiness that he deserves. So maybe it's about, owning up to, okay, I'm in love, or I have someone that loves me. I've been with them for a very long time, and I want to be happy. I want to be that person that I can say I love someone or I'm in love with someone. Maybe there's something about him with a judgment in the middle, him fearing people judging him if people knows the details about this. But there's a change, there's an evolution. So times are different. A lot of things have been going on. So yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. I'm going to start with SHINee members, and the first one is Taemin. So yes, Taemin. She bite me. No respect. No respect. Okay, for Taemin, we start with the Three of Pentacles, Temperance, Knight of Swords in the middle, the Lovers, and the High Priestess. And we have the card of the Young Bride. The Young Bride. Taemin definitely is hiding something. Definitely, with all these cards, with the Knight of Swords in reverse, is like, I'm not clarifying this. I'm not saying something. But definitely, I don't see the person because he doesn't let me see who it is. But with the card of Young Bride, it's like, you there's feminine energy in here. There's someone, but and also I think that definitely is someone he works with, because we have the Three of Pentacles, and the Temperance. So there's something. There's like, the when you have the best out, the best of both worlds. You no. She's making biscuits, but her clothes are too when you have the best of both worlds, in the sense that you are doing great in your professional endeavors, and you're having a great teamwork, and you're really focused, and everything is great. But then also, when it comes to romance, in there's the person that you like. So there's something about like, I'm so happy when I go to work because I get to see my person. So 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 I think that it makes Taemin's days or life, him talking about work a bit more exciting. There's something with the temperance that it feels nice. It feels nice. It feels like a calming, soothing balm, where you are like, oh, this is positive. I need positivity in my life. I need healing. So this is why when we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, there's something about him not saying anything. I think that, I don't know, there's something, first of all, that the Knight of Swords upwards is someone that goes to respond back, to defend, to call out, maybe haters or people spreading misinformation or talking bad about him or just, sending very malicious comments. And this being in reverse, there's something about him sort of restricting his anger or his need to say something because maybe, this person is getting harassed or there's people just being awful online to her, or just they are disturbing this person, so he's like, I wish I could be obvious and just like go and call people out, but they advise me to not do this, to not go and confront or call out people or being like, I deny this or I confirm this. He has to remain silent. He has to remain, untouched. Like, okay, like I'm not moved by this. He definitely is angry. There's a lot of anger. There's something about him wanting to say a lot of things, and putting people in their places. But he had been advised to not, do not give them more fuel. Do not give them more reasons to become more hateful. So just don't say anything. Just stop. Stop. Don't say anything. Don't react. Don't react. And he feels a bit frustrated by this. Honestly, it's not good. It's not okay. I think that he feels like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't be clarifying nor denying nor clarifying anything, but there's something about him also, maybe because we are talking about romance, that he's like, I cannot believe like people just being this awful, because um, with the lovers and the high priestess, he's like, my silence is, you know, um, the best I can do to keep being professional. I think that also the lovers with the high priestess, there's something about him being like, I shouldn't have to be talking about or giving details about who I like or who I don't like. um there's something about him being like, you guys, like, you should see me like a mystery, like the high priestess. You shouldn't try to get that close to me. You should just, um, understand that what I show you is what I have available, and that's it. Um, with the lovers, he understands that, the love of the fans or maybe the love of others, people, they speculate a lot about idols, if they're dating or not, if they are having an affair or not. And he's like, from me, you guys are not going to get the confirmation. I'm not going to mention, I'm not going to show the person, I'm not going to, I'm going to become hermetic. I'm going to take care of myself, take care of my image, and I'm going to remain silent. I'm going to remain silent. But with the lovers, it's like, I could be dating or not. So he's also very playful, he's like, I'm a mystery and you guys should be okay with that, and that's it. But don't push it too far. It makes him happy he is happy. I think that, like I said, something about, being related to work, or his routine. I think that it makes him feel hopeful. There's something about him being like, I finally have a reason to smile. But it's also the major arcanas are like, this is something that makes him feel good inside. It makes him feel deserving of love. It makes him feel like a young bride, you know? He is the young bride. It makes him feel like this. It makes him feel like, a young bride. Like I'm blushing, I'm all cute. I'm all like, like shy, but I'm loving the attention. He feels good. But I don't think that, we will know. And there's something about like, it's a sensation, he's enjoying the presence of this person in his life. But I cannot be like, oh, they are living together and they have this, this routine together, and they have this together. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Hmm. Yes. Exactly. Hope. Bye bye. Guys, to the person that left the super chat, because I don't know if you can remove the super chat. I mean, if she can, if I don't know if it's a she. If they can do it. But if I believe it's a personal question. If it's a personal question, they can email it to me. I do have my email in the description of the videos. So, just in case there's no way out, and I don't want to have a super chat in there, and not provide an answer. But I will not do it on a live stream that is definitely dedicated to the people in the image, in the in the thumbnail, and in the title. It's a reading for K-pop idols. So yeah, you should always ask before sending the super chats, because I usually have all the what I'm going to do is everything prearranged and selected already. But yeah, when I have time, I can do the reading in a private setting. Okay, I'm going to continue with Minho. Let's see for Minho 2025. Love. Okay, for Minho, we start with the 9 of Wands. We have the Fool. We have the King of Cups in the middle. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. And then from the Oracle of the I Ching of Love, we have the card of falling in love with this beautiful Venus. Falling in love. So yeah, I think that for Minho, definitely, seeing the King of Cups here in the middle, there's something about him becoming softer. I don't know if I think that he's definitely in charge. There's something about him owning up to a lot of things or maybe past experiences. And honestly, I do see that from the cards that start, the Nine of Wands and the Fool, there's a lot of foolishness. It's, there's a lot of, when it comes to romance, definitely he has a lot of boundaries. Definitely. He's a very tough, person. For him to be in this level of this King of Cups, something must have happened. I don't know if he started therapy. I don't know if he started working on himself, like spiritually, internally, therapeutically. But it feels like he has like somehow learned to, master his emotions, maybe talk a bit more, becoming a bit much more sensitive, and being like, yeah, I do have emotional needs. I would want to find the person for me. I want to find someone that loves me. I have a lot to give, you know. But I think that, maybe 2025 is a year, is a process, is the beginning of a journey of him having a sort of self-actualization and getting to know himself better when it comes to romance. Because definitely in the past, he, like, I don't want to say he was rejected a lot, but there was a lot of discontinuation of, you know, things that didn't go well, interactions that just become so weird. Maybe him having a crush on someone, or him wanting to talk to someone, but then, things got very awkward. The person got confused, he got confused, he disappeared, they ghosted each other. I don't know, but I think that he's a very emotional guy. He definitely is he deserves the love and the attention. But also, with the Fool card, he can be a bit he can be a bit of a clown. There's something about him being a bit cheesy when he likes someone. And I would say that he he puts himself in situations that are ridiculous, that you are like, why are you doing this? Like, you are just like embarrassing yourself. Like, stop it. It's not fun. Like, yeah, maybe the person that you liked, they were like staring at you and just laughing out of secondhand embarrassment or awkwardness. So there's something about maybe Minho's behavior when he's in front of someone that he likes, that he makes a fool of himself. And the cards are like, this. And then he gets angry when the other person just doesn't seem to understand the joke, or they don't seem to follow, and they're like, yeah, I better go. He's like, you didn't appreciate this that I did for you. I did this so you can have fun, and this is supposed to be fun, and I did this to entertain you because, I think that you're cool. But, he's so odd sometimes. His seductive, attributes, I would say, the tools that he uses to be seductive or seduce someone are very odd, very odd. And people usually don't get it. They're like, are you flirting? Is that flirting? Because it is a lot. He does a lot. He does or says a lot. I don't know. It seems like exaggerated a lot. So probably he scares people away. I, I was like, he scares people away, definitely, definitely, because it's like, whoa, like are we sure this person likes me? Because it feels like, or maybe he tends to like, you know, make jokes to the other. I don't know. It just feels very weird. Um, but with the King of Cups in the middle, there's an evolution. You know, there's something about him understanding, like, yeah, maybe I should be a better listener. Maybe I should be more observant. Maybe I should remain silent a bit. Maybe, I should be a bit much more understanding and kind and sweet. And, he has it in him. It's just that he's so awkward at this. He's so awkward. This is why we have the King of Cups, and then we have the King of Swords. So these are like the two faces of Minho. Him trying to be sweet, him trying to being um romantic. Definitely he tries. But then, something happens that he says something that shooks you. That you're like, where did that come from? Like, he's so brutally honest. He's so brutally honest. He cannot help it. That sometimes, it's like it spoils the mood. It spoils the mood. So I can see him soften, being a bit softer, being a bit much more considerate. But then with the King of Swords, I'm like, at the end, he's going to say what he wants to say, and he is going to act the way he wants to act. But the good thing about Minho, that I must say, is that he is a very honest man. He is a man, first of all, because we have these kings. He's very mature, even though, in the past he could have been a bit like a fool. He's playful, but I think that this year he's like, no, I have to be better. I have to learn from this, I have to, he seems like he's taking classes, I don't know, about how to be, a man of value, something like this. He wants to promote himself better as a lover. He's like, I want to, be better. Um, but it feels like a chore already. It feels like so serious already, It's not like, oh, it's cute. No, he's taking it to the extremes again. So, yeah, but we have the Wheel of Fortune. So, he's going to move from this awkward space, and probably there's going to be someone new entering his life. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, your circle of friends or acquaintances are going to renew themselves. Maybe this is also something that maybe he's like, I need to meet new people. I need to make new friends. He maybe had been stuck in the same circle with the same people, or just hanging out with the same kind of people. And he's like, no, maybe I need to meet others. I need to see other people, other potential, other types of conversation, where also he can feel much more adequate, because maybe, with the Fool and the Nine of Wands, maybe he feels like this because his people around him see him like a fool. So there's maybe a preconception, like, oh yeah, I know him for all these years, and yeah, he's a fool. He's always like this, and maybe, if he changes his group of friends, maybe if he meets another people, he could actually find and learn that, that actually he's very funny, and there's people that get his humor, or that they get how driven he is, or how, and he doesn't become like the object of, or the target of jokes, because it seems like there's a lot of jokes around Minho, even though, maybe we as an audience or as fans, we are like, no, but the guy seems very sincere, or he seems like, yeah, is his character. But maybe, there's a bit of immaturity in his circle, so people maybe had put a label on him, like, oh yeah, he's always like this, he's always a fool. And actually maybe, he's very intelligent. He has a lot of capacity for love and to love. So I like it. And yeah, falling in love. he wants to fall in love. He wants love. He doesn't want one night stand. No, he wants to experience what it feels like to fall in love. But first, maybe regulate his emotions a bit, getting to know himself better, and just becoming better, and just like advancing. He's definitely a pro. He's definitely a great student of life. He will sign up, he will show up, he will modify what has to be modified in order to be a man of value for a future potential partner. So yes, I love it for him. If you guys see like a dark, like something here, it's my cat. There's nothing wrong with the image. It's my cat that is taking up space here. Okay, I'm going to continue with Onew. See Onew. Romance for Onew. A lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of perceptions for Onew. Very intellectual, very mental, very much in here. For him, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords in the middle, we have the Judgment, and we have the Four of Cups. And from the Oracle of the I Ching, we have the card of identification. Identification. Yeah, he definitely wants to be listened to. This is why I have all these swords in here. He's probably trying, through words and communication, he's probably trying to find a place of, where you can encounter another and where you can empathize with the other person and be yourself, and the other person can give you room for identification. There's something very interesting with about Onew's, romantic life, romanticism, that something affected him very much. I must say, like, is he has he gone through some kind of trauma when it comes to relationships? Because I do see it in here. I do see it. He's working on this, definitely putting it into words, being able to talk to people about this. But also I think that for him it's not easy, maybe because he's a famous person. He's like, okay, is it safe for me to talk about those things? Like, am I going to be safe here? I don't know. But I get, when I see these cards, I'm like, the word traumatic is the first thing that comes to my mind. Is the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, because it seems like, it's not going to go away that easily. But definitely he is working on this, and he's also accepting uncertainty, and he be like, I don't know when or how I will find love. I hope someday I find it. But he understands that, there's a lot of wounds, there's a lot of memories, there's a lot of judgment, I have the judgment here that had somehow contributed to someone like Onew really feeling apathic about love. Even asexual, I would say. Like I don't know if you pronounce it like this, but it's like him not having desires about romance or having a partner. It feels very asexual, or asexual, um, because there's something about his desire being blocked, because he feels ashamed, he feels guilty, he feels there's a lot of repressed emotions. We have the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords, so see, um a lot of, I would say, a lot of nuts, a lot of a lot of things to be unpacked here, a lot of things to work on. But the good thing is that he's working towards this. I don't know if it's him creating, composing songs, creating new songs, talking about it, maybe even writing a book, writing his memories, going on a talk show to express himself. But I think that um, there has to be a moment where he is going to be able to speak his truth. Maybe for a very long time he was silenced, or people just didn't want to hear him. So it's tough for someone like him to be like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm not finding love because actually I'm very busy, and I have a lot of things to do, and this is why, and I'm an idol, this is why I don't date, or this is why, I am single. And for him it's complex. For him, I would say, it's traumatic. Is love is something that, you know gets him a bit like, like worried. Um, and it's all in here. This is why I'm like, he has a strong memories. He has a strong feelings of like, I cannot talk about this. I cannot say this because they don't let me. So I think that part of his healing is to be able like this, with the kind of identifications, maybe someone went through something similar to him, and him being able to identify with the person's circumstances, and him being able to talk from there. But he needs to heal, and also, he knows. There is something just very odd, the double standard, that it feels very, very weird, because with the Judgment and the Four of Cups, see the apathy. It's like Onew is a very handsome person, like a very handsome, a person with a lot of. He has a lot of people interested in him. It's not that he doesn't have options, but here with the Judgment and the Four of Cups, I think that it definitely shows you how sometimes maybe the audience, the people that just criticize, how their standards or their morals are so twisted, because there's something about people criticizing idols for dating or having a girlfriend in the past, or being seen with someone, but then they also criticize idols that they are like, oh, you never dated, right? Or we never met a girlfriend of yours. Like, you're single, right? How old are you? So there's like this judgment to him being apathic, or people being like, oh wow, we never we don't know if he dated, his whole dating history is a mystery, maybe he's picky with people and relationships, maybe he doesn't date. I don't know, maybe he doesn't like women. There's a lot of judgment to him not showing interest in being that romantic or having romantic scenes or being shipped with someone of the opposite sex. It's like people don't have that kind of content of Onew. So somehow they're like, oh, he must be weird. There's something missing in him. Why? Why the others have a lot of, rumors and he doesn't have one? Like him being the weird one. But then, when an idol wants to date or when it is known and people find out that they potentially have like a special someone, people criticize, throw them under the bus anyways. So it's like the never-ending judgment of these people that it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So for him, it's a whole process, it's a whole process. He definitely values relationships. He cannot wait to find, a person who he can identify with this person, someone that he can call, oh, this is my person. This person is special. This is my person. I love this person because they remind me of me, or they are a representation of a part of me. He doesn't settle for less. He is a romantic. He believes in equality in relationships. So he's like, I'm a sensitive person. I would want my partner to be sensitive as well. And he's definitely is very wise. He's very spiritual. So yeah, he's waiting for this person. He can identify himself with this person. A lot of correspondence. Very sweet. But still a lot of work to do. Okay, the last one, and then I'm going to go, guys. Because this lady over here, she's demanding the heater. I apologize for her intrusion. I know she's still in the spotlight in here, but she wants to be here. Okay. Key. Key is so indecisive, but his life is fun. I do like, I think that Key is that member that he's so social and he loves maybe to have celebrations, to have people over, to celebrate, to go and meet people and just being social. I think that he's never alone. This man is never alone. It's just that I don't see a relationship, but I think that when it comes to interactions, he's very popular or he's very social. And yeah, look, from the oracle of the I Ching, we have the card of the present moment. The present moment. So yes, everything that matters in his 2025 romantic life is him living the moment. He's happy. The people that are in his life, he's so happy to have them. And he's like, I'm not hiding anyone. I'm just not in love. at the moment. I'm not in love. I'm just enjoying meeting people, seeing people, getting to know new people. He's like a king in his castles. He's living his life and he feels so entertained. He has so much to do and he has so much fun. That he's like, yeah, I wish I could tell you have someone, but I don't. Um, Five of Swords for Key. Knight of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Two of Pentacles. And the Devil. And then, yeah, from the Oracle, the present moment. The present moment. Yeah, his whole life is a party, is a celebration. He finds any kind of opportunity that he has to throw a party, he will do it. Just that I think that Key is someone that when it comes to romance or maybe people's expectation about his romantic life, he's sort of, maybe he had arguments with people, maybe online, or he had, set some boundaries when it comes to the fans or people that are very gossipy, and there was a moment where they were very much like following him or very much being intrusive and a bit disrespectful towards, like, who are you dating? Like, oh, is this your girlfriend? Is this your partner? And he been like, get out, like, get out of my way. Like, you are being disrespectful. So I think that he really is someone that he's not the type of idol that is going to be like, oh, my fans are my girlfriends. He's not like that. He's not like that. He's like, it's not of your business. It's not of your business. So stop, being so noisy. But the Knight of Pentacles is also about him, putting boundaries, being very brave, being very, straightforward, a bit cold, you know. But the Knight of Pentacles is also showing me that his romance is him building the life of his dreams and him being able to share this dream life with the people that he likes. It's not about love. It's more about him romanticizing his everyday life. And I definitely can see it because, whatever he is, his house, his friend's house, the place he works in, there's always a celebration, there's always laughter, there's always, delicious food, there's always good music, there's always like, fun moments, people laughing, people being loud, people being funny, people being um, loving to each other. He has built a community that is so enjoyable, that being part of his life is so enjoyable, and there's not room for negativity. And it took a while for him because he's a fragile person just like we all are, and definitely maybe in the past he was, a bit fearful of criticism or, maybe critics or, people talking bad about him. It would really get to him, it would really affect him, but he made the work. He turned his back. He, envisioned, and he had a plan. He put together a plan. He's like, okay, I don't want to keep paying attention to the haters. I feel like they drain my energy. They make me feel guilty. They don't like me. There's something about him also, maybe, pushing or just getting rid of fake friends or people that pretended to be his friends, and actually they weren't friends, or they were just very negative and they would just, bring him down. So there's something about him slowly, with a lot of effort, consistency, and hard work, he was able to build the life that he always dreamed of having. He wants to have fun. This is why I'm like, I see that he's evading dating or having relationships, but the real thing is that he's having such a nice time. He's enjoying himself, he's laughing, he's smiling, he's like, everything is enjoyment, everything is a party, and he's so happy, he's so thankful to every day. He's like, this is why I what I work for. When you have to work long hours, extra hours, and you're like, this is why I work. This is why I work so hard, so I can party later. And he's not like that scandalous, like, oh, I want to party. And no, it feels like very, very intimate. It feels like, you have to be a VIP. You have to be special to get invited to kiss parties or celebrations. You have to be, he's very selective, but also life taught him to be selective. Life taught him to be like, they don't really like you. They are not that sincere with you. They are double faced. They will betray you. So he is like slowly removing himself from a lot of dynamics that actually he was like, I was surrounded by a lot of liars, a lot of deceivers, a lot of superficial people that I thought that they were my friends. I wanted them to like me, but they always made me feel less. They always made me feel like, like you're not good enough. So I think that he found his people, maybe in this group of friends that he has, in this community that he has, he found, and he's still finding, in adding new people to his life that actually, bring him up, and it's like his whole potential, and him just being himself, he's attracting so many people that vibe in the same frequency as he does. So this is why we have the four ones, because it's not just about, oh yeah, let's arrange, this this hotel room, or let's just, decorate this house or this place, and let's just drink and eat and have fun. And no, it's not that superficial, sorry. It's more about you having real fun with the people around you. You really wanting to be in their presence, and vice versa. And also a lot of laughter, a lot of humor, a lot of messiness, but funny. Let's just be goofy. Let's smile. Being able to smile, to laugh, is what heals someone like you. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Devil. So definitely, he is a person that when we think of, because the Two of Pentacles and the Devil, I think that he could, meet people or a potential. I think that he's set up, people set him up on dates all the time, or they're like, I want you to meet this person, or this person, wants to meet you, or they want your number. He's very popular. It's just that, he is not sure. He is evading. The Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles is like the card of like, yeah, no, maybe, and they never give you a straight answer. They are like, we'll see, and he could actually find a bit of, there's an attachment to him being so unstable in relationships, because maybe he's holding on so tight to this present time or to this present moment where he's having so much fun that he doesn't want to get himself complicated with relationships. But definitely the cards are like, you're hiding something. Like, not hiding. I think that there must be a reason or an attachment to a past or to someone from his past. Maybe, someone that broke his heart, someone that maybe, wasn't, good for him, and he never was able to move on. There's something that is in there. The reason why he evades from dating, or, saying yes to propositions, or maybe even sometimes saying yes and actually he means no. Like, actually, I don't want to see you. Like, I don't want to date you. I don't want to go out with you. I don't want to get to know you. So yeah, he maybe sometimes is like, oh yes, yes, sure, I will let you know when because I'm so busy. Uh, and sometimes he's like, I should really, go. But then he's like, no, but I don't want to really. So so indecisive. Yes, my bias. My bias is so complex. He's so protective of his intimacy. So protective. She just wanted to be here so she can be next to the heater. That's all she wanted. It's not because she wanted, you know, uh, she wanted me to pet her. No, she's here because of the heater. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I'm freezing in here. My feet are cold again. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed these readings. And yeah, let's see if you guys have like more propositions for. I can take two groups for next Wednesday for this subject. I'm actually more like, I know people have their favorites, but I would appreciate, if you're going to recommend please like the groups that have like, um, groups that are in a good age for romance, like for example, in their 30s, the members of, this is why I've chosen GOT7 and SHINee, because they are in this nice, age. um they had experienced things about life, and I think that these kind of people are more interesting to read than someone that can be so young and inexperienced, and maybe the reading can get a bit like, not saying much, and is a waste of time. So yeah, I will try to create a post so you guys can leave your recommendations. But yeah, next Sunday I'm going to be reading for Chinese actors and actresses. So if you are fans of the C dramas or C movies, I'm going to create a post tonight so you guys can leave me the names of your favorite Chinese artists. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to also to start opening, um, the readings for the other part of Asia, not just, K drama, but also C drama, and maybe later we can do J dramas or Japanese movies, artists and actors. But yeah, always expanding and leaving room to a lot of great people that we have on the industry, so I can read for them. So yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for being here with me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on Sunday. Okay, bye.